Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Jungle Disguise Dutch from Predator. This figure comes as part of Series 9 of the Predator series from NECA. Features over 20 points of articulation, includes a torch, spear, bow, arrows and more, for ages 17 plus. And as you can see on the card, he's actually quite difficult to see with his jungle disguise. If we take a look around the card, we can see there's the Predator there, we've got a picture of the toy there. Around the back, deep in the Central American jungle, the Predator is hunting humans for sport. Armed with his plasma caster, wrist blades and cloaking technology, the Predator methodically stalks and kills opponents he deems worthy. The jungle hunter Predator collects the skulls and spines of his victims as trophies and skins his prey, leaving the bodies hanging from the trees. When a Special Forces team is dispatched on a rescue mission, they soon become the Predator's prey. Also on the back we can see the other figures in Series 9. We have Jungle Encounter Dutch, Water Emergence Predator, and this figure, the Jungle Disguise Dutch. So Jungle Disguise Dutch comes with a number of accessories, the first one being this torch. It's actually made of two separate pieces, so that you've got the translucent orange bit on the top, and the rest of it's all brown. I actually thought it would be made of all translucent plastic and then just painted over, but it's nice to see it's actually two separate pieces. They are however glued together. Then we have this large stick with a grenade on the end, and you can see the tip there, it's got a nice little shiny metal bit to it, and then there's plenty of sculpting detail on the rest of the stick. And a similar accessory, we've got this knife that he used to have just as a separate knife that went into his sheath on the other figures. Now it's been attached to a large stick. And you can see there's some nice paint detail on there, and again sculpting all the way along the stick. Next up we have his bow, and it's quite a nice accessory, this one. It's very well detailed like everything else with this set, and the little rope piece is actually very soft plastic, so it is quite flexible. As you can see the way it's attached there, that's a very tiny little connection, and with one section being soft and one being hard, I would imagine that would snap very easily. And if you're going to have a bow, you're going to need some arrows, so it comes with these three. And we also get a fourth arrow that has a grenade attached to the end. Another cool little feature about the bow is you can actually attach all the arrows to it, so when you sling it over his back, everything's all held together nicely. So here we have Jungle Disguise Dutch. Now pretty much what we're getting here is the same figure as the Jungle Encounter Dutch, only with his vest missing, but they've added loads of sculpted detail over his body to simulate leaves and bits of earth. He's even had his face slightly resculpted. His hair, although it looks very similar, is actually resculpted as well. So as you can see on the torso, we've got absolutely tons of sculpted detail on there. You can see the leaves on his back. And under there you can probably see we've got another accessory. This is his 9th accessory. And we've got this little strap with a little bag there, which has got a little bit of green and red painted on. Articulation on the arms are exactly the same as all the other figures. The legs are a reuse as well, only this time with extra paint detail on them. They've actually removed all the attachments from the belt so that we don't have the holster and the sheath anymore. Around the back there's slightly less mud on his legs than there is on the front. So as far as his accessories goes, the torch is no problem whatsoever. You can put that in either hand and it looks pretty good. The spear can be held in a single-handed pose or a double-handed pose. And the same goes for the grenade on the stick. As for the bow, that's a slightly different story. You can just about get him to hold it in his left hand, but it is very tight to go in there. I was worried that the hand was going to break. The other side though is even more scary. You've got to pull back the string onto his thumb, and that's about as far as I want to go with it, because that looks like it's just going to fall off. And the arrow, all you can do there is sort of balance it on top of his hand. So if you must have the bow attached to the figure, the best way to do it is probably sling it over his shoulder, put all the arrows into the bow so it's all stored neatly on his back. You do have to be a little bit careful because that bow is very fragile. And if you do that, that frees up his hands so you can put the spear and the torch in there. And the only thing you're left with then is the grenade on a stick. So detail wise, this figure is probably the best of the 4 Dutch figures we've got so far. He's definitely the most original looking. He's got all brand new accessories rather than just redos of the same guns and knives. The only thing is he's a little bit too fragile. If I could only have one of the Dutch figures from Wave 9, I would definitely choose the Jungle Encounter one over the Jungle Disguise one. I just prefer the gun look a lot more. But if you had the Dutch figures from Wave 8, you could probably skip Jungle Encounter Dutch, but you're going to want the Jungle Disguise Dutch because he is so different. This has been Luke with the Jungle Disguise Dutch from NECA. Thanks for watching.